Ignoring your dog's scratching is the biggest mistake you can make as a pet owner, and it's likely causing them more pain than you realize. We all see our dogs scratch and itch here or there, and usually we just think it's a normal dog thing. Maybe they have a little tickle or a blade of grass got stuck in their fur. But there is a very real, very painful line between a normal scratch and a medical emergency that is slowly destroying your dog's quality of life. If you don't know where that line is, you might be letting a serious infection or a chronic condition spiral out of control while your dog suffers in silence. Today, we are going to break down the 5 major red flags that mean your dog's itching has moved from annoying to dangerous. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, what these signs actually mean for your dog's health, and most importantly, how you can fix it before you end up with a massive vet bill and a miserable pet. If your dog is currently licking their paws, shaking their head, or rubbing their face on the carpet, you need to pay very close attention to every word of this. Red flag number 1. The stop and drop. The first major red flag is what I call the stop and drop. Think about when you're taking your dog for a walk or playing a game of fetch in the backyard. Is your dog so focused on the ball that they forget everything else? Usually, yes. But if your dog suddenly stops right in the middle of a run, drops their butt to the grass, and starts frantically gnawing at their hip or scratching their ear, that is a massive warning sign. A normal itch doesn't interrupt a dog's favorite activity. When the itch becomes so intense that it overrides their drive to play, eat, or go for a walk, it means the neurological signal of that itch is overwhelming their brain. It's like having a mosquito bite that feels like a bee sting. This kind of obsessive scratching usually points to something more than just dry skin. It's often the first sign of a flea allergy or a severe reaction to something in the environment. Even just 1 or 2 fleas can trigger a full-body reaction in a dog that is allergic to flea saliva. They aren't just scratching because something is crawling on them. They are scratching because their immune system is overreacting and making their entire skin feel like it's on fire. If your dog can't finish a meal or a walk without a scratching break, you are dealing with a red flag that needs immediate attention. Red flag number 2. The midnight itch. If you are lying in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear the rhythmic thumping of your dog's leg hitting the floor, or the wet, squelching sound of them licking their paws, you have a problem. This is the second red flag. Interference with sleep. Just like humans, dogs need deep sleep to stay healthy. Their bodies use that time to repair cells and keep their immune system strong. When a dog is scratching all night long, they are stuck in a state of constant stress. They are exhausted, but they can't rest because the moment they relax, the itching sensation takes over. Imagine trying to sleep while covered in itchy wool blankets in a hot room. You wouldn't be able to do it, and neither can they. If you notice your dog is cranky during the day, or if they seem sluggish and tired, it's probably because they spent the whole night fighting their own skin. This lack of sleep creates a vicious cycle. The more tired and stressed the dog is, the weaker their immune system becomes, which makes their skin even more vulnerable to infections. If the scratching is keeping you awake, it's definitely keeping them awake, and that is a serious health risk that goes beyond just a simple itch. Red flag number 3. The Frito feet and funky smells. Have you ever leaned in to pet your dog and noticed they smell like a bag of corn chips or old damp gym socks? A lot of people joke about Frito feet, but in the world of dog health, that smell is actually a major red flag. That scent is the smell of a yeast overgrowth. Yeast is a type of fungus that lives naturally on your dog's skin in small amounts. However, when a dog is constantly scratching and licking, they create a warm, moist environment that yeast absolutely loves. When the yeast population explodes, it creates an intense, burning itch that makes the dog scratch even more. This is why you see dogs constantly licking between their toes or rubbing their ears. If you look at the skin in these areas and it looks greasy, brownish, or thickened like elephant skin, you're looking at a chronic yeast infection. This won't go away with a regular bath. In fact, using the wrong shampoo can sometimes make it worse by stripping away the good oils and leaving the skin even more vulnerable. This smell is a clear signal that the skin's natural barrier has been totally destroyed, and bacteria or fungus have moved in and claimed the territory. The fourth red flag is physical damage to the skin, specifically what we call hot spots. A hot spot is basically an area of skin that has become so inflamed and infected that it starts to ooze and lose hair almost overnight. If you see a patch of skin that is bright red, wet, and warm to the touch, your dog is in a lot of pain. This happens because of the itch-scratch cycle. The dog itches, so they scratch. The scratching breaks the skin. The broken skin gets infected by the bacteria on their claws or in their mouth. The infection itches even more, so the dog scratches harder. Within just a few hours, a small itch can turn into a bloody raw wound the size of a pancake. If you see blood, scabs, or patches where the hair has been completely ripped out, the situation is serious. This isn't just an allergy anymore. It's an active skin infection that can spread to the rest of the body. Once the skin is broken, your dog is an open door for staph infections and other nasty bugs that can make them very sick, sometimes even leading to a fever or loss of appetite. Red flag number 5, the personality shift. The final red flag is one that many owners miss because they don't realize it's connected to the skin. It's a change in your dog's personality. If you're normally sweet, happy dog starts growling when you touch them, or if they start hiding under the table and avoiding the family, they are likely in a state of chronic distress. Itching is a form of low-level pain. When a dog is itchy 24/7, their nervous system is on high alert. They are touch-sensitive. They might snap at you if you pet a sore spot, or they might stop greeting you at the door because they're too focused on their discomfort. This is heartbreaking to see, but it's a very common symptom of severe skin issues. A dog that is constantly uncomfortable cannot be their happy, goofy self. If your dog seems depressed, anxious, or unusually aggressive, don't just assume they're getting old or being grumpy. Check their skin. They might just be suffering from an itch that is driving them to the brink of insanity. How to fix the itch for good. Now that we know the red flags, let's talk about how to fix it. The first thing you need to do is stop the immediate damage. If your dog has a hot spot or raw skin, you need to prevent them from touching it. This might mean the dreaded cone of shame for a few days. I know dogs hate them, but you cannot heal a wound that is being licked every 5 seconds. Next, look at the 2 biggest triggers: fleas and food. Even if you don't see fleas, use a high-quality, vet-recommended preventative. Modern fleas are tough, and a single bite can cause weeks of misery for an allergic dog. As for food, many dogs are allergic to common proteins like chicken or beef. Switching to a limited ingredient diet with a protein they've never had before, like salmon, lamb, or duck, can sometimes perform miracles. However, remember that food trials take at least 8 weeks to show results, so you have to be patient and very strict with treats. Environmental triggers are another big one. If your dog itches more after being outside, they might be allergic to grass or pollen. A simple fix is to keep a pack of unscented baby wipes by the door and wipe their paws and belly every single time they come inside. This removes the allergens before they can sink into the skin. You can also talk to your vet about modern medications. We aren't just limited to steroids anymore, which used to have nasty side effects. There are now amazing treatments like cytopoint injections or daily pills like Apoquel that specifically target the itch signal in the brain without suppress the whole immune system. These can give your dog instant relief while you work on finding the root cause. Finally, don't forget the power of a good bath. But use the right stuff. Look for shampoos containing oatmeal, aloe, or even antifungal ingredients like ketoconazole if you suspect yeast. Never use human shampoo on a dog, as our skin has a different pH level, and you will only make the irritation worse. If you catch these red flags early and take these steps, you can save your dog from a lifetime of scratching and turn them back into the happy, energetic companion they are meant to be. If you want to know which human foods are actually safe to give your itchy dog to help their coat stay shiny and healthy, watch this video next.